Thank you, everybody. You're going to see some very, very strong results very, very quickly. Thank you very much. Thank you. You look at what's happening last night in Sweden. Sweden. Who would believe this? Sweden. They took in large numbers. They're having problems like they never thought possible. And I can tell you, some of the candidates they went in, they didn't know the air conditioner didn't work. They sweated like dogs. They didn't know the room was too big because they didn't have anybody there. How are they going to beat ISIS? I don't think it's going to happen. So Belgium is a beautiful city. Most beautiful piece of chocolate cake that you've ever seen, and President Xi was enjoying it. So what happens is, I said, we've just launched 59 missiles heading to Iraq.
Well, you headed to Syria?
Yes, heading toward Syria. And I want you to know. Talk just for a second. I wrote this out, and it's very close to my heart because I was down there. And I watch our police and our firemen down on 7-Eleven, down at the World Trade Center right after it came down. And I saw the greatest people I've ever seen in action. But the New York Times is so unfair. I mean, they write 3-4 articles about me a day. No matter how good I do on something, they'll never write good. I mean, they don't write good. They have people over there like Maggie Haberman and others. They don't write good. They don't know how to write good. And I guess if they did, they're certainly not doing it. But the New York Times is just absolutely a disaster.
Let me ask one other thing.
Are you familiar with General Soleimani?
Yes. Go ahead. Give me a little. Go ahead. Tell me.
He runs the Quds forces.
Yes. Okay. Right.
Do you expect his behavior?
The Kurds, by the way, have been horribly mistreated by us.
No, not the Kurds. The Quds forces, the Iranian Revolutionary Guard's Quds forces.
No.
Okay. Would you be able to read this section and tell us what your understanding of it is?
Objection. Mr. Trump isn't a lawyer.
I mean, do you want me to read it? It's long.
It is long.
It's very.
I would like you to read just the monetary damages section, starting at the number 1 in the middle of the page. Just there. The rest of that, and to the end of that, it continues on the next page. And tell me what you think, reading that, you as the landlord are entitled to get from the tenant in the event of a tenant breach in the way of damages.
I don't have my glasses. I mean, I am at a disadvantage because I didn't bring my glasses. This is such small writing.
All right, well, if the witness can't actually physically read the language, that's a problem.
It's very small writing. I can make it out. Do you want me to try?
Well, we can have, you know what we can do? We can have a bigger copy made of these pages.
Let me try. Let me just do it.
All right, I have to place on the record a hearty objection.
The latest act of resistance is the op-ed published in the failing New York Times by an anonymous, gutless coward. You just look. We look forward to partnering with his new administration to eradicate cocoa production in his country. Last year, Colombia, cocoa cultivation and cocaine production reached a record high, which hopefully will be remedied very quickly by the president, to target and eliminate drug trafficking networks, illicit financings, cocoa cultivation. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you very much. Congratulations. Go on. Yep. Everybody.
said, "I'll never lie to you." Would you say that, the American people?
I would never lie.
Well, it was an amazing phone call I made. 40 Wall Street actually was the second tallest building in downtown Manhattan, and it was actually, before the World Trade Center, was the tallest. And then when they built the World Trade Center, it became known as the second tallest, and now it's the tallest.
I lost hundreds of friends. The World Trade Center came down. When the World Trade Center came tumbling down, and I watched in Jersey City, New Jersey, where thousands and thousands of people were cheering as that building was coming down. Thousands of people were cheering.
You know, his father was with Lee Harvey Oswald prior to Oswald's being, shot. I mean, the whole thing is ridiculous. What is this, right prior to his being shot?
Have you seen that, and what did you make of it?
Well, you know, I have seen it, and it was a Romney deal.
Thing to say.
I have not seen the ad, so I would have to see it. I've heard about the ad, but I have not seen the ad.
They were also misled. A lot of information was given to people, but I was against it, the war in Iraq from the beginning.
I'm just talking about David Duke and the Ku Klux Klan here, but...
I don't know, honestly, I don't know David Duke. I don't believe I've ever met him. I'm pretty sure I didn't meet him, and I just don't know anything about him.
David Duke just joined. A bigot, a racist, a problem. I mean, this is not exactly the people you want in your party.
Out of 67 counties, I won 66, which is unprecedented. It's never happened before. I don't know Putin.
Do you have a relationship with Vladimir Putin?
I do have a relationship. Nobody has more respect for women than I do. Nobody.
So you treat women with respect?
I can't say that either.
I don't think so.
Look at her words. You tell me what you think. I don't think so. I did not say that.
Assaulted.
I did not say that. I didn't even apologize to my wife, who's sitting right here, because I didn't do anything.
He apologized to me, and I accept his apology.
I have been on their cover like 14 or 15 times. I think we have the all-time record in the history of Time magazine.
The audience was the biggest ever, but this crowd was massive. Look how far back it goes. This crowd was massive.
I guess it was the biggest electoral college win since Ronald Reagan. Obamacare covers very few people.
The fake media goes, Donald Trump has changed his stance on China. I haven't changed my stance.
Very pro-life.
I'm very pro-choice.
Do you believe in punishment for abortion? Yes or no, as a principle? There has to be some form of punishment.
I am pro-choice in every respect.
Hillary Clinton was the worst Secretary of State in the history of the United States. Hillary Clinton, how did she do as Secretary of State? Probably above and beyond everybody else.
Donald, true or false, you've said the government should pay for everyone's health care.
That's false.
You've never said that.
Everybody's got to be covered.
Universal health care.
I am going to take care of everybody.
Who pays for it?
The government's going to pay for it, but we're going to save so much money on the other side.
You said I was in favor of Libya? I never discussed that subject. I was in favor of Libya. We would be so much better off if Gaddafi were in charge right now. Gaddafi in Libya is killing thousands of people. We should go in. We should stop this guy, which would be very easy and very quick. Here illegally, you take them, they have to go back.
We have to show some compassion. We just can't throw everybody out.
They have to
You're going to split up families.
Chuck,
You're going to deport children.
Chuck, no. We're going to keep the families together. We have to keep the families together.
But you're going to keep them
they have
together
to
out.
go. But they have to go.
How do you throw somebody out that's lived in this country for 20 years?
Conservative person.
The Republicans are just too crazy right. I mean, just what's going on is just nuts.
Bush says, I do not believe he's a true conservative. These people are stupid.
Do you identify more as a Democrat or a Republican?
In many cases, I probably identify more as a Democrat. The economy does better under the Democrats than the Republicans.
Do you believe voters have a right to see your tax returns before they make a final decision?
I don't think they do.
If I decide to run for office, I'll produce my tax returns, absolutely.
There have been many presidents that have not shown their tax returns.
Actually, every single nominee since 1976 has released their tax
before
returns.
1970,
Nobody was worse to women or abused women more than Bill Clinton. We have one senator that's in the hospital. He can't vote because he's in the hospital. He can't vote because he's in the hospital. I'm almost certain we have the votes. But with one man in the hospital, we cannot display that we have them. We can't do it now because we have somebody in a hospital.
Sir, who's in the hospital? What senator are you referring to?
In other words, he can't come here and vote because he's in the hospital.
Who is in the hospital, sir?
You probably didn't hear me because, as you know, one of our yes votes is in the hospital. I can't wait I can't take him out of the hot.
President, I'm a different person. I can do anything. I can be the most politically correct person that you've ever seen. I can be the most politically correct person in the world. And I can be the opposite.
The president has to be a great leader, and you have to lead by example.
I could stand in the middle of Fifth Avenue and shoot somebody, and I wouldn't lose any voters, okay? Like to punch him in the face.
I'd look her right in that fat, ugly face of hers.
Blood coming out of her, wherever.
He's a war hero because he was captured. I like people that weren't captured, okay?
I don't know what I said.
This guy will say anything.
We've got people in positions of power who I know for a fact are liars. Liars. I don't believe any one of them, not one. I believe Donald.
You go to Brussels. I was in Brussels a long time ago, 20 years ago. So beautiful. Everything's so beautiful. It's like living in a hellhole right now.
There might be a couple of more questions, but do you want to take one more? Would you want to take one more? Go ahead, pick.
Well,
Go ahead.
Please.
Again? You're going to give her the same one?
No, she's not the same lady.
Go ahead.
They are sitting side by side.
We have a lot of blonde women in Finland.
Go ahead.
President Trump, if I may. As President Niinistö told, he's been raising the issue.
They are sitting side by side.
We have a lot of blonde women in Finland.
Go ahead.
Mr. President Trump, what kind of role do you see as Finland having?
You know what uranium is, right? It's a thing called nuclear weapons and other things. Like lots of things are done with uranium, including some bad things. For the past 17 years, Obamacare has wreaked havoc on the lives of innocent, hardworking Americans.
I mean, had Andrew Jackson been a little bit later, you wouldn't have had the Civil War. People don't ask that question. But why was there the Civil War? Why could that one not have been worked out?
We, of course, can ask you the easy question about Andrew Jackson. Obviously, he was wrong about Andrew Jackson and the Civil War by a matter of about 15 years. I want to ask you the more difficult question. Do you follow Douglas Brinkley in your assessment that the President of the United States certainly over the past 48 hours has appeared to have a, quote, confused mental state? Yeah, but he started, but nobody has asked this question before, but why did we even have a civil war? My mother's had dementia for 10 years. That sounds like the sort of thing my mother would say today.
The world, excuse me, I lost hundreds of friends.
Okay, now here's the truth. It was not hundreds. The next day, 12 hours later on Meet the Press, he reduced the hundreds to he lost many, many friends. The truth is he lost zero. Donald Trump did not attend a single 9/11 funeral. He stands there in front of the debate audience, says he lost hundreds of friends of 9/11. The truth is he lost zero. He lost nothing. He suffered nothing on 9/11. What do you call that? What did we just see?
Well, it's lying, but there are two pieces to it, I think. One is that he lies because of his sociopathic tendencies that Dr. Gartner was talking about, that he lies in the way anybody who scams people does, that he's trying to sell an idea or a product by telling you something that's untrue. There's that lying. There's also the kind of lying he has that is, in a way, more serious, that he has a loose grip on reality. We can say that because he lies about things which aren't even that important to him, like the Electoral College majority, and he's been told that it's not true, but he keeps doing it. I think what that indicates is that he can't stand an aspect of reality that he doesn't want, so he rejects it. His grasp of reality and his attention to reality is loose, an extremely dangerous trait in a president. Actually makes him unqualified.
We're doing something that's incredible. It's a movement. But if we don't win, all it is a little asterisk in history. There's never been anything like this. So go and register. Make sure you get out and vote November 28th.
Add American flags. You know, they forgot to put them on.
They didn't have flag representation. Not good.
They had no American flags up on the stage.
Did you notice on the stage there was no flag? It was a disgrace.
Now, we had a lot of flags.
I don't know what the 13 straps represent.
For President Trump, some of the stagecraft was off as he nearly walked past the Vietnamese president waiting for a handshake photo.
We are also praying for the people of Puerto Rico. We love Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico.
I am today starting the process of terminating the diversity lottery program. I'm going to ask Congress to immediately initiate work to get rid of this program. Diversity and diversity lottery.
Trump will be speaking here in just a few minutes. He called me late today to once again defend his claims, telling me that although he doesn't remember where exactly he saw that video, he does know he saw it because he has, quote, the world's greatest memory.
I don't remember much about that meeting. It was a very unimportant meeting, took place a long time. Don't remember much about it. And finally, I asked the leaders of the region, political and religious, Israeli and Palestinian, Jewish and Christian and Muslim, to join us in the noble quest for lasting peace. Thank you. God bless you. God bless Israel. God bless the Palestinians. And God bless the United States. Thank you very much.
Of sexual misconduct. But so now with this, maybe it's not authentic. I mean, there are only two possibilities. He's lying. He's just plain out lying, or there's some kind of dementia going on. I mean, the president. No, I'm serious. That if the president can convince himself that a tape which he has apologized for, and acknowledged and apologized for, is not authentic, if he can convince even himself of that, much less anybody else, you actually have to wonder about the president's mental condition.
One of the people I know received successive calls from two different people from a White House number, so you don't know for sure, but from a White House number saying, we're concerned the president is, in one case, decompensating, which is a psychological term for losing his grip on reality. So they saw something different. There is a small, very small percentage of people in the White House, because I think a lot of them essentially function as either hostages or members of a cult. But I think there's probably still some who, when they hear him say things like that Access Hollywood tape wasn't real, get very anxious, because that is completely unmoored from reality.
I don't ever think I'd see anything. I just want to stay in the White House and work my ass off, make great deals, right? Who's going to leave? There won't be time to go on vacations. There won't be time to go golfing all the time. I'm not going to play much golf because there's a lot of work to be done. You need leadership. Yeah. You can't fly to Hawaii to play golf. I don't know where the president was. He wasn't very far away. Maybe he was playing golf. Obama, it was reported today, played 250 rounds of golf.
Obama went golfing every day. Let Obama go play golf every day.
Obama plays more golf than professional players on the PGA Tour. Played a lot of golf. He's played more than most PGA touring professionals play. More than a guy who plays on the PGA Tour plays. PGA Tour. Plays more golf. Plays more golf. PGA Tour. PGA Tour. I mean, this guy. Golf, 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 golf. More. Learning how to chip, learning how to hit the drive, learning how to putt. Oh, I want more. If you become president and you go to the White House, why would you want to leave the White House? When you're in the White House, who the hell wants to play golf? Who wants to leave the White House? How the hell do you leave for 3 weeks to play golf? If I get elected president, I'm going to be in the White House a lot. I'm not leaving. I'm going to be working for you. I'm not going to have time to go play golf. And letter was given to me by Kim Jong-un, and that letter was a very nice letter. Oh, would you like to see what was in that letter? Would you like? How much? It was a very interesting letter, and at some point it may be appropriate, and maybe I'll be able to give it to you. Maybe you'll be able to see it, and maybe fairly soon.
The letter. Did you send anything back?
No, I didn't. I haven't seen the letter yet. I purposely didn't open the letter.
I haven't opened it. I didn't open it in front of the director. I said, would you want me to open it? He said, you can read it later. I may be in for a big...
Senate Majority Whip John Cornyn. John, thank you. Great job. House Majority Whip Steve Scalise. Again, Steve. Thank you. House Majority Leader Kevin McCarthy. Kevin. Chair John Thune and House Conference Chair Kathy McMorris Rogers. Did they forget your name, John? I don't know. What's going on here? John Cornyn, everybody knows. They didn't put his name up, but that's okay. That's the first time that's ever happened. Hey, John, that'll never happen again.
Thank you, everybody. Aluminum and other things. We'll be doing other things, very positive things. But you are great people. Would you like to take a picture in the Oval Office? I assume you've all been many times into the Oval Office. Come on, let's go and do that. Let's go and do that. Yes, I'm going to do. We'll go into the Oval Office. We're going to sign this up. We'll go into the Oval Office. We'll have a picture, okay? Together, our nations remind the world of the boundless potential of societies that choose freedom over tyranny and who set the free. And we will free. And we will sacrifice. And we will hope. And we will make things beautiful.
Where is it going?
Sir, can you get this deal done immediately? I said, it doesn't work that way. I don't want to go too fast. The deal's not going to be any good if we do that. We got to take time. It's got to gestate, right? The word gestate. It's like when you're cooking a chicken. Time. Turkey for Thanksgiving. My mother would say, oh, 8 hours. I said, 8 hours? She made the greatest turkey I've ever had. They feel very strongly about Scott Trump, and they love Scott Trump. Thank you very much, everybody.
Can we talk about Syria, Mr. President? Syria?
Right now, in a number of states, the laws allow a baby to be born from his or her mother's womb in the 9th month. It is wrong. It has to change. Americans are more and more pro-life. You see that all the time.